What's up? How's everybody doing this morning? I hope everybody's doing good. I'm sitting here eating some leftover cabbage, rice, and chicken. I don't like food to go to waste. I made 2 chickens, cabbage, rice, I made cornbread, and yams. And no more yams. There's cornbread, but I didn't want the carbs. I already got enough carbs with the rice. So I left the cornbread out. And the yams are gone. Everybody tore those up. But I made it, and everybody ate like twice. They ate the night I made it, and then the next night there was so much left over. And you know, after the second night, everybody started buying Chinese and Applebee's. Look, y'all, these little Kool-Aid jammers. Do y'all buy these? I used to buy them for my granddaughter, but I always noticed that I would buy, like, I always bought, like, maybe about, I think it comes 10 in a case, and I used to get, like, 6 cases. And I would notice that after weeks, there was only, like, there was still, like, 5 cases left. And I'm like, she's not drinking these? And, she'd rather have water. Like, even like with, you know, even like with like cake or cookies or something like that, donuts or whatever, she'd still rather have water than milk. When we have dinner, you know, everybody usually have, you know, juice or apple juice or something like that. She wants water. I mean, I'm glad. I'm glad she's like that because her skin will stay nice. She probably won't have acne and, you know, go through that awkward stage, you know, and, you know, it's good for her bowels. You know, they'll move smoothly and stuff like that. So I'm glad. It's just weird because most kids, you know, they want juice or soda or something like that. And she definitely don't drink soda. And you couldn't pay her to have a soda. But she want water with everything. So because of that, I still get the juices. I either get the Kool-Aid jammers or I get the Capri Suns. But when I get it from my husband and myself because they come in handy. They're convenient. And because me and my husband had the gastric sleeve surgery, our stomachs can't hold but so much anyway, so those little pouch juices are perfect. Not only that, you know, because he's, you know, he drives bus, you know, he can pack it up in his lunch bag and, you know, so it's very convenient and comes with a straw, so he ain't got to worry about that. You know, when I shop for my husband, I have to be careful what I get because he doesn't have lunch breaks like everyone else. Like most people can take hot food with them to work, and you know, they can heat it up in the microwave, like secretaries and stuff like that. Even construction workers, a lot of them have places where they can go. And you know, with my husband, he's on the bus, so basically wherever he stops, that's where he has to eat. So a lot of times when he is at a stop and it's his lunch break, sometimes there's no stores around at all, because it'd be different if there was a bodega around or something like that, or corner store where he can go in and ask them if he can heat his food up. But there's a lot of times when he's driving, when he stops for lunch, there's none of that out there. So he's either eating fast food, which, he's either eating fast food from he tries his best to find a Subway where he can get tuna fish with lettuce and tomatoes, or he'll get a salad. But if he can't find that, then he winds up eating pizza and stuff, and he really hates that. He really hates that he can't bring cooked food to work because there's nowhere to heat it up. Now, it was one time he was stationed, he had an area where he went every day, because after a certain, after a certain amount of months, their shift changes, their day, their weekdays change, their days off change, depending on what route they get. They might have a different bus in a different area or whatever. So, and this is like every 4 to 6 months they switch up. So, like right now where he works at, there's stores all around the place. But the last time he was like at some like dead end area where there's no stores or nothing like that. So I had to make him I would make him tuna fish sandwiches, but I wouldn't put mayonnaise in the tuna fish. I would put everything else in the tuna fish, but the mayonnaise I would put in like a little jar, and I would put it in the refrigerator and make it really, really cold, to the point where by the time he ate his food, it would be warm enough to where he can mix it with the tuna fish and make his own sandwich. So I used to do that. But now I got to the point where I buy him Lunchables. Some of them come with the little sub sandwiches. But it's hard because my husband doesn't eat, he doesn't eat chicken or turkey. So he only eat like ham or bologna or, beef. And majority of the Lunchables are turkey or chicken. So it's hard. But honestly, if he ate chicken or turkey, that would be perfect, because it comes with the little Capri drink in there with the straw, and maybe 2 Chips Ahoy cookies and stuff like that. It comes with a little dessert. This way he can have his little whatever, and it's good enough, just because his stomach is not that big anyway, so it's enough to keep him from being hungry. But I started buying them now, and I buy that. I buy a case of apple juices, and I rotate that. The apple juices, I rotate those. So they come 1 case of apple juice. I think it's 24 in a case, little bottles. 24 in a case. It usually lasts us a month. So I usually rotate it every 4 months. We get 4 cases. So that's 1 case a month for 4 months. And he'll take one of those to work. I get little cases of peanut butter crackers. It's Ritz crackers with peanut butter in it. I get that. He takes that to work. I get the little bags of Oreo cookies or Chips Ahoy cookies. It comes in a case, and it's maybe about 30 bags. He take all of that to work, and then I'll get him some mixed nuts with some trail mix, and he'll take that. He don't eat all of this stuff, but I send him with enough stuff so throughout the day he's not hungry. You know, he can snack on stuff. Being that a lot of times there's nowhere for him to eat. So I put enough in there, you know, and then I'll send him, you know, I buy cases of water, you know, water bottles, 24 in a case of waters, and then I freeze the waters up. This way, by the time he's ready to drink them, they're nice and cold. And he also went and got some, what are these things? It's these things that you freeze them, and they keep everything cold, like your juices and stuff like that. It keeps it cold. He bought those, and he puts those in his bag and stuff like that. So he has a pretty good amount of stuff to keep him from being hungry. A lot of times he'll come home with damn near everything that I sent him to work with, you know, because sometimes he'll tell me, babe, I didn't even get a lunch break, because, you know, they have a schedule to keep. And if the person driving a bus before him is running late, that makes him running late, and then he sometimes can miss his lunch break altogether. Now, they'll reimburse you if you miss your lunch break, but sometimes, you know, you don't care about that, because you're like, you're hungry. Sometimes he's at work for 12 hours and with no lunch break, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, even though they compensate them for missing their lunch, sometimes you don't care about that, you know, that extra money, because you're starving. You've been at work all day long, and then sometimes you driving past restaurants and you can smell the food. And there's times where you smell food and your stomach will start growling because you're hungry, but you didn't realize how hungry until you know, smell that food. That food goes in through the nose and down into the stomach, and next thing you know, you're starving. He's called me plenty of times from work, and he's like, babe, did you cook? God, I swear I'm starving. My stomach is eating through my back. It takes him like maybe about 30 minutes to get home from work. So if he called me, he'd be like, babe, could you make something? I'm on my way home. I just got off of work. I'll race in here because I know I got about 30 minutes to come up with something good for him to eat, because he's so picky. So I jump up and I race in the kitchen. I start looking. First thing I do is look to make sure that whatever it is that he can eat isn't frozen. One thing he do love, pork and beans and franks. I can never go wrong with pork and beans and franks. So if it's one of those days where he's calling me up and he's like, babe, I'm hungry. I didn't get my lunch today. I'm starving, blah, 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 blah. I can always run in there and make some pork and beans and franks real fast. Let me tell you how I make it for him. I put butter, sugar. Now, I don't make it crazy sweet, but it'd be a little sweet. Butter, sugar, a little salt, pepper, little mustard, a little bit of milk to kind of, you know, break it up a little bit. A little bit of milk, it doesn't matter, canned milk, regular milk, but honestly, I rather use heavy cream more than anything. But if I don't have heavy cream, then my next go-to will be canned milk. If I don't have canned milk, then I'll use regular milk. I don't like to use regular milk as much because it's too loose. And he likes his pork and beans thick, kind of like baked beans, you know. So I do it all, mix it up, get it ready for him. I cook it on the stove. Oh, and then I also add a little cornstarch in there to thicken it up. Sometimes I'll even put it in the oven and bake it, so it'll really thicken up really good. Oh, and I also put barbecue sauce in there too. And then I cut up the pork and bean. I'll cut up the franks. I'll boil them first, and then I put them in the oven and let them brown a little bit, let them get a little burnt because he likes it like that. And then I put it all in together and mix it up. and then I'll make him a little bit of rice on the side. Sometimes he'll eat it without rice, but majority of times he'll you know, he likes it with rice. And I make it for him, and he loves it. I'm telling you, when all else fails, pork and beans and franks for him. That's why no matter what I buy as far as groceries, I keep pork and beans and franks in the house. I make sure that every time I go grocery shopping, there's got to be some cans of pork and beans and some franks in here, because that is my go-to at any point in time. When that man called me and I got to hurry up and make something, pork and beans and franks never fails. Oh my gosh. My daughter's still in the hospital with my grandbaby. I don't know exactly when they'll be home. I hope it's today. She hopes it's today. But depending on what kind of infection my grandbaby has, is going to determine whether or not they can treat him at home or if they need to treat him in the hospital. So it all depends on the type of infection he has. But the good thing is they said that he doesn't have a fever and all his vital signs are good. They're normal. He's not in any pain or anything like that. They said that the infection is not connected to any blood vessels or anything like that to where it can cause him having pain. He said, so he's, even though he has the infection, he don't feel anything from it. And then they said it was caught early, you know, so, but they said, you know, my daughter was like, so is he going to be all right? They was like, yeah, it's nothing. It's not bad at all. We just trying to figure out what infection it is so we know how to treat it. But they've been treating him so far with antibiotics, and they said the infection is getting better and stuff like that. And so today they're supposed to let her know whether or not the infection is being handled to the point where she doesn't need to be in the hospital. So hopefully, cross my fingers, that everything goes well and that he can come home today. But the good thing is that they said that it's not serious to the point where she has to be worried and stuff like that. So that's good. I swear, I told her, I said, don't have no more babies. She said, Mom, this is it. I'm done. Now she got a daughter who's 10, and now she has this one. And he just turned 1 week old Wednesday. And she said, I got my boy, I got my girl. I'm good. I'm done. Her boyfriend, he's telling her he wants 6 kids. So she said, and then we might as well break up right now, because if you want 6 kids, you must be getting it from some other woman, because it won't be me. She said, babe, but you knew I always said I wanted 6 kids. She said, I could care less what you want. You ain't the one carrying it. You ain't the one giving birth to it. So, but he has a son. He has a son that's 14. You know, so it's been a while for both of them. 14 years for him, 10 years for my daughter. You know, since they've had a baby in the house. But, you know, she had a really bad pregnancy. She, through her whole, I think once she reached 4 months, she started having bad pains like when I tell y'all, it was every single day. It was every single day. She was throwing up every day. She was having pains every day. She was crying all the time. She had the worst acid reflux. It was so bad to where when she got it, it would travel up to her neck, to her ears. And she used to be crying, and we would be running around the house trying to find something that she could take, because being that she was pregnant, we didn't really know what she could take because we didn't want to harm the baby. So it was hard to try to find something, you know. And the doctor prescribed her something, but that wasn't working. So I get acid reflux too. So the only thing that really helps with my acid reflux for some reason is iced coffee. And when I realized that, I was taking Tums and Mylanta, all that other stuff, and it wasn't helping with my acid reflux. But when I started drinking iced coffee, it would stop it automatically. Like, soon as it went down, it would stop it. So I told my daughter, I said, look, try this. I said, I don't know if it's going to work for you, but because when I came in the room, she was crying because her boyfriend came to me. He was like, Miss Robinson, she's crying, the acid reflux is really bothering her, whatever. So I came in there and she was crying and she was like, it hurts so bad in my ears. And so I said, look, I don't know if it's going to work for you, but it works for me. Try it. And she tried it, she drank it, and it stopped her acid reflux automatically. So now since she had my grandson, she has not had acid reflux. She has not had it. So I'm hoping that that's the end of it, because the doctor said that she was going through that because of the pregnancy. So I'm hoping that because she's not pregnant anymore, she don't have it anymore, because I was really, really concerned about that. And but we keep iced coffee from Starbucks. We keep iced coffee in the house. Like, because I order it from Amazon. It comes in the bottle. It's like four bottles. It's like a case, but it's just 4 come in a case. So I buy like 6, 7, 8, and just in case it comes back, she drink it down. But she had such a bad pregnancy all the way up until her 9th month. And then when she went into labor, she went from 3 centimeters to 10 within an hour. My husband and myself, we both was at the hospital. It was me, my husband, her, and her baby father, her boyfriend. And we were all at the hospital. And after a while, they said, you might as well go home because she's only 3 centimeters and she haven't budged. So she probably won't have a baby till sometime tomorrow. So we was like, okay. Plus, we couldn't all be in the room with her anyway. So we was like, all right. We left the hospital, got home. Soon as I think we had walked in the door maybe 10 minutes after we walked in the door. And her boyfriend called us and said, Mom, he was crying, she did it. I said, she did what? She had him. She had him. She did it. She did it. He's here. He's here. I said, you got to be freaking kidding me. I said, are you serious? So then we was on video phone. So he turned the phone around so I could see the baby. I said, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? I said, the nurse said she won't be having a baby till tomorrow. So we left. And 10 minutes after we walk in the door, you calling us saying that the baby's already born. Not that she's getting ready to give birth, but that he's here already. I was so pissed because I wanted to be there when, but I was there for my granddaughter. When she had my granddaughter, I was like, the doctor had to be like, excuse me, because I was in it like this. I said, oh my gosh. I said, is this what it really looks like? And the doctor, he couldn't even, because he's in there and my head is like right damn near on his shoulder. And he's like, excuse me, I need you to, he was laughing though, but I was like, oh my God. So we was in there with her when she had my granddaughter. That was a moment that I always remember. It's special. But yeah, she was in a lot of pain during delivery. They gave her epidural. she was begging for that because she was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And she was, she was really going through it. Her whole body was trembling, like shaking like a leaf. And she was just, oh God, oh God. I was like, if you get pregnant again, we gonna fight. And she said, Ma, I am not doing this again. She said, she said, this was so bad. I don't remember it being this bad with her daughter. She don't remember it being. And I said to her, I said, as women, we remember the labor, but we don't remember the labor. And so she was shaking her head. And so her boyfriend was like, what do you mean by that? I said, because all women have a recollection of how bad the pain was to some extent. Because we remember because we had the babies. But until we are in that position all over again, we do not. It's like a light goes off in our head, like, oh my God, this is what we've been trying to avoid. It's like you remember the pain. You remember that it was painful. But until you are going through it all over again, you realize at that moment just how extremely painful that was. And it's like a wake-up call. Like I said, you remember, but you don't remember. I would never want to go through that again. Even if I could have kids right now. Nope. Nope. Not me. And men are so fast to say, I want it. Who gives a damn about what you want? When I'm sitting here and all you're doing is standing there telling, baby, you got this. Yeah, I got this. I've had it for 9 months. What are you talking about? You got this. Who else got it? Who else doing this? I'm in here in pain. You sitting there telling, you got this. Who else got it? You ain't going to do it. You can't do it. You got this. And, babe, don't worry. It all will be over soon. How do you know? I mean, like, really, how do you know it'll be all over soon? I've heard of people being in labor for days before they have. I think when men, they should just shut up, hold your hand or whatever, or do whatever the doctor tells them to do or the nurse tells, and just be quiet. Because I swear, when I had all 3 of my kids, my husband's voice aggravated the hell out of me. Everything he said to me got on my nerves. He was like, baby, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And, oh, babe, we did it. You know what? That's what gets me. That right there, that we did it shit. We did what? What did we do? Your whole contribution to this was what? Maybe about 10, 15 minutes. And then you was done. And it was pleasurable when you did it. When you had your little part in this whole thing. It was pleasurable for you. You enjoyed it. And then from the moment we accept your gift, we're going through it. The body's changing, the throwing up, the morning sickness, and the gaining weight, the stretch marks, the nose blowing up, your nose get big. Sometimes people's neck get dark, and the stretch marks that sometimes never go away, and like my daughter, the acid reflux, and all kinds of the cravings, and it's the smells, the smells that make you sick, the smells that make you hungry, the crazy midnight cravings sometime, and craving for the craziest foods, and crying for no reason, being emotional, being angry, yelling at people, and your back hurts because your spine is bending. You know, carrying this heavy ball around. You can't bend over and tie your shoes no more. And oh my gosh, getting out of the bed sometimes is a chore in itself, you know, and being tired all the time. What do they go through? And then after everything, as if all of this isn't enough, then we have the pleasure of going through the most excruciating pain you can ever imagine. And then if the pain ain't enough, now you got to squeeze this big, depending on the size of the baby, because I've heard of people having 13-pound babies. I know my daughter was 8 pounds, 12 ounces. You know, and you're pushing this baby out through your canal, and it's literally ripping you, because my daughter ripped me up. Like, they had to monitor me all night because they said she ripped me so bad to where I was hemorrhaging. So they was coming in my room the whole night giving me shots to try to stop the bleeding, because they said I was bleeding as if somebody turned on the water faucet. And they said that if they didn't stop the bleeding, I could hemorrhage to death. So I wasn't allowed to go to my room. They had me in the emergency room overnight because they had to monitor me, and they had to keep coming in, giving me shots in my hip and all this and that. She ripped me. He said that they had to sew me inside out. Usually they just sew the, you know, outside of you, sew you up. They said that they had to sew me inside out. That's how bad I was ripped up. You know, and then after all of that, mind you, then the doctors tell you, you know, having a baby is a crapshoot, because you can literally die giving birth. Your heart could give out. Sometimes the pain is too great and the heart can't handle it, and some women have known to die giving birth. And on top of all of that, and them sewing you up, like if pushing the baby wasn't enough, ripping you up wasn't enough, now they got to take a needle to your downstairs and sew it up. Then it doesn't stop there, folks. Now we have the pleasure of bleeding in our private areas for who knows how long. And then they got the nerve to stand and say, we did it. We did it. We did what? You mean I did it? I did it all? I did it? What did we do? All I know is the whole time I was laying here, dying, trying to push this baby out, going through these crazy pains, you were standing there holding my hand. Telling me, you could do it, babe. I'm proud of you. And then they have the nerve to, before your 6 weeks is up, after you have the baby, you have to wait 6 weeks, right? 6 weeks before you can have sex. And not only do you have to wait 6 weeks, after the 6 weeks, you have to get permission from your doctor. So your doctor has to check you out to make sure that your wounds have healed enough to where you can have sex again. But these dudes, and I've heard this, my husband included, but I've heard this from a few women, friends and family members, that said that the men start messing with them like after like the 3rd week. They start the kissing and stuff. I want you so bad, but babe, it's been a while, and like, what? Like, are you kidding me? Like, after everything I went through, you can't wait 6 weeks? My body just went through some tremendous crap, some craziness. And all you have to do is wait 6 weeks for me to heal enough to where I can give you what you need or whatever. And you can't even wait. You say, babe, it's just that I love you so much. And I you know, if I didn't love you the way Ninja, please. I don't want to hear nothing about I love you so much. If you love me that much, then leave me alone. Let me heal for the amount of time that I'm supposed to heal. And I'll get back with you once the doctor said that I'm okay to do that. But leave me alone. Leave me alone. Let me heal right. Because the moment we have sex, I can get pregnant like that all over again. So leave me alone. And then they have this thing about not wanting to wear condoms. Anyway, I went left with this whole conversation. But I think it's because men just, to me, they just have the audacity to want to take credit for nothing. They be like, but that's my baby too. I was in the delivery room with you. Okay, that's the least you could do. Like, you will well, so you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be there. Like, if I'm going through all this pain, the least you could do is be in the delivery room with me. Anyway. Obviously, I must have been traumatized by my labors, by my birth stories, because I just went off. I went left. Started out with my daughter and then just went crazy. But anyway, I'm gonna go. I've kept y'all long enough. I thank y'all for sitting with me and let me air it out. I appreciate you. Y'all comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that notification bell, comment below. Let me know what you think of my little rant. And have any of y'all went through anything, even a little bit of what I just was talking about. And y'all check out my other videos. Check out my playlist. I'm pretty sure there's something in there that y'all would like. You know, I have clothing videos and stuff like that. And, you know, my day-to-day trips and stuff like that. I have a lot of stuff, y'all, that I'm pretty sure y'all would enjoy to watch. So check out my playlist, y'all. And like I said, be blessed, stay blessed. I'm going to finish this food and watch some YouTube videos. And then I think I'm going to, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'll talk to y'all later. And, tonight, 7 o'clock tonight, I will be going live. I will be talking some sexy grown-up talk. Nothing crazy, y'all. It's just that, you know, I want to have some grown-up conversation. You know, we're all adults and stuff like that. It ain't going to be nothing gory or nothing like that. It's just that, you know, you get tired of talking about groceries and cleaning the house and the kids and the grandkids. And, you know, I mean, yes, we're all mothers. We're all grandmothers. We're all homemakers at some point, you know, but we're more than that. You know, we are women. We have desires and stuff like that. There's things we might want to talk about that, you know, we don't get the chance to talk about. So that's what my talk is going to be about later on. You know, we're going to talk grown talk. So sexy grown talk, you know. So anyway, watch my live this evening, 7 o'clock, y'all. And I'm looking forward to everybody coming in and speaking and you know, joining in with the conversation, y'all. So until I speak to y'all later, be blessed, stay blessed. Peace.